Big day today, folks. We got new shoes for the 5.0. Now, a quick little backstory on this is back in 2016 is when I bought these wheels and tires as a package. It was one of these last minute scenarios that I got myself into, rabbit hole style scenarios. It's when I had the motor out of the car and I was getting to like the tail end of that whole iteration. And I'm like, you know what? I really got to get some wheels and tires. I had a set of Bullet 5-bolt wheels that went on here when I did the 5-bolt conversion initially, and they just kind of came with the car that I got the 5-bolt 4-wheel disc brake conversion off of, and I hated those wheels. They just were not my program, and they were not a good version of the Bullet either. Anyway, I decided in a last minute pinch to buy wheels and tires, and the shop that I bought them from was in a little bit of a tight situation when it came to tires and sizes. This is a standard problem up here in Canada. We just never ever have stock. And anyway, with the sizing that I wanted, I had to go with these Yokohama, whatever they are. They're not my favorite tire at all, but they did fill the void for the time. Now, since 2016, I've wanted to get rid of these things. Here we are in 2025, finally getting rid of them. Now, they are by no means worn out. They are getting a little long in the tooth from an age perspective, but it was time. So that's where these units come in. Now, I've been eyeballing these Falken tires for quite some time. The biggest thing that attracts me to them is the look. I love this tread pattern look, and they actually perform quite well too. I've heard nothing but great things about these, and with all the recent upgrades to the car, I knew we were going to have to do something with from the sticky side of things in order to keep this little hot rod on the highway, or at least in straight format. So here's the stats on these. Again, Falken, I might pronounce this wrong, but they're called a Zenith is the whatever version of them. RT615K. I think that's a K. It is a K. Okay, and obviously a staggered format, right? So I got my two rears sitting here, two fronts sitting there. So the rear is a 265/35/18. The fronts are a 235/40/18. Now, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this stuff, and a lot of different YouTubers, including my buddy, The Infamous Project, has talked a lot about this. If you're like OCD picky when it comes to tires, like a lot of us are, there's a lot of thinking that needs to go into this. And you'll have to pardon my printer, but I did print out this off the Falken website. They've got a really good setup there as far as like pegging down what tire you want, what overall size it's going to be, diameter, all that good stuff. So one of the first things I looked at here was the overall diameter. So this 265 in the rear is 25.4 inches tall. The rear is 25.5 inches tall. So I'm 0.1 inches taller in the front, but I'm not going to worry about that. My wife doesn't worry about 0.1 of an inch, so nor am I. So anyway, I like to have an even setup front to back. I don't like the back to be taller. I definitely don't like the front to be taller. I think that's ridiculous. That's the Carolina squat look, right? But anyway, that was something I looked at. And then obviously overall width is key. You need to pay very close attention to that. And funny enough, obviously these aren't mounted on wheels yet, but when I drag a tape measure across this rear tire, again, 265/35, and then I lay it across this Yokohama 275/35, the 265 seems to be wider. Now, that can be misleading when they're not mounted. So I guess we'll know more soon. And I'm obviously committed to this program now. They're here, they're ordered, they're bought. But it will be interesting to see how this all flanges up, because I wanted to actually run a little bit more of a tucked tire so I can take as much advantage of this air ride system that I have on the coupe now as possible when I go to set it down and park it and stuff. But anyway, we're gonna see. I think I should be all right, because I've talked to a couple of buddies and they have these tires. Well, again, Chris, the infamous project, he has a set of these, and he said overall, he figures based on what he's seen on his car and how they fit on the wheel and everything, I should be good. But yeah, lots of things here to consider. I mean, I don't know, you want to get real technical, like everything down to even like the way the lettering is on a sidewall can affect the overall look of a tire. And these are super minute details, but these are things that I considered when looking at this. Now, this is actually the inside of the tire. This is the outside, so this is what will be seen. But yeah, when you cross compare, say, the overall look of this sidewall of this tire and the tread and how it wraps into the sidewall and stuff versus this Yokohama, I mean, this thing, I don't know, it just doesn't have a pretty sidewall at all, at least in my opinion, okay? So these were things that were considered, and this is ultimately what pushed me towards these Falcons. And then last but not least, they're actually a very reasonably priced tire for what you get, okay? Like these are a, you know, high performance tire, like all kinds of grip, soft tread pattern, like they're really designed for, I think their pitch is track and street. So yeah, like they check all the boxes of the big name brands. Not that Falcon's not a big name brand, but they check all those boxes and you get the reasonable price with them too. So I'm gonna get these off the car because I gotta run all this down to my buddy's shop so he can flip them over for me. He's got a soft touch machine that hopefully won't be too rough on these wheels. Pull the weights off them, try to make his life as easy as possible, and then we'll bring these back, we'll bolt them up, and I'll show you the before and after with these new Falcon tires. Okay, so, oh, you want to say hi?
Yeah, I'm back for once and forever.
So Sadie was supposed to be filming a minute ago, but we had the camera on time lapse.
Not you.
Well, Dad's not all that technical, right? So anyway, we are mounted. And I got to be honest with you, these tires are a lot smaller mounted than they are unmounted. I guess which is kind of the case, right? No air in them, whatever. But I just wanted to show everybody a bit of a cross comparison. So that's the former rear 275 35 18 versus a 265 35 18, right? Obviously a little skinnier, but when this guy didn't have air in it, it sat a lot plumper, and I was a little worried. I thought, because I'm trying to go a little less wide in the back and the front actually. So that's the former front, which is a 255 versus the 235 here in the Falcon. So yeah, I don't know, any regrets? This 235 is quite skinny, maybe not quite as, I didn't want to go too skinny, but I don't know, we're gonna have to see them on the car. And then it's obviously the adjustment from seeing the former tires on the wheels to these. But anyway, we're going to get these on the car and then we'll have a little look-see. All right, they're on, ladies and gents. 235s up front, 265s out back. And now here's my initial impression. Overall, I love them. Again, I especially love the design of this tire. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Now up front with the 235, I definitely won the battle when I go to let all the air out of this car and kind of lay it down real low. I can still go lower than this. I've just kind of got it in, I don't know, like a mediocre low level. Maybe I'll let all the air out after I'm done explaining myself here and show you guys that. But this would be like, I don't know, probably about as low as a static dropped car would ever sit. and be able to drive down the road. This is probably even a little lower than that. But anyway, it can still go down a bit more. Now the back, I brought my light here so I can show you. I'm not able to like tuck this tire right in the wheel well, and this is a rolled fender. But this is the trouble, right? You're trying to accomplish like a nice wide flush look, but yet in the airbag scenario, you want to be able to like let all the air out and look really extra low when you're parked. Well, I'm gonna say that I've probably found like the best happy medium right here, which is, you know, you got still a meaty wide tire, but you know, you can't quite air it down as far as you want to. I would rather this than run a skinny tire that can tuck up in the wheel well. So that's kind of how this is all flanged up. I'll give you a quick look at the other side here, and then we'll let some more air out of the bags and show you kind of squatted right out. And I don't have the wheel well liners in here right now, which realistically isn't going to change anything. I can still go really, really low. This is the 92. I got the big wheel wells. They are laying in the back of the shop here still because I haven't fired this car up, and more on that in a minute. I'm going to fill you guys in on the details. For all of you that stick around to the end of the video, I'll give you a quick little update. But I left them out so I can potentially fart around with whatever I need to, because I did all that wire tucking and my meth kit's in there. So just in case I have troubles when we go to fire it up, I wanted to be able to access that stuff. But anyway, this is more about tires right now. So yeah, overall, pretty happy with how it turned out. All right, and this is pretty much sitting on the wheel wells on the outer lip of the fender right now. Front, I mean, yeah, I can still probably go down a little bit more, but this is getting to that point of like dangerous low because I got all my power stud and all my wiring up in there. I don't want to start mangling all that stuff. But anyway, this would be essentially how the car would look, completely aired out and parked. Very, very low. Hell, my headers are damn near touching the ground. So, but it looks pretty cool. This is what I always wanted in high school. Okay, folks, and for all of you that stuck around to the end to hear my little update on what the heck's been going on, here you go. I've installed a different fuel pump. I've put in a Aeromotive 340, and I've ran some different lines because those Aeromotives with the Aeromotive hat run like a ORB to AN fitting. So I've been messing around with that. I didn't film any of it. It was over the holidays and I was just kind of unwinding. Anyway, I'm actually in a bit of a pinch right now because I'm waiting on a fitting to go to my return line. It's a long story. It's in the mail apparently, but yeah, I've even ordered backups. So yeah, outside of that, the car's ready to fire. Maybe before I get into some of these boxes on the bench, I'll give you a quick little tour around under here. The intake, cold air intake's now in. Got that Venturi tube installed. Belt's in. We got the right amount of tension on it. We got the pulley nice and wrapped. Bolts are tight. We're essentially ready to go. I still got to fart around with my meth/boost gauge and get that kind of set up. Not that this thing's going to be in need of any kind of meth while it's sitting here burping the coolant system and stuff, but we are ready to fire, ladies and gents. And who knows, maybe even while I got it idling, I'll get my AC guy over here and we'll charge that thing up and try it out, because that's obviously part and parcel with all this too. Now, I've found myself running down another rabbit hole, folks. This all happened over Christmas. I got some Cobra front calipers. This brake upgrade that I want to do to this car has been a long time coming. So for those of you that I guess haven't heard the backstory, this whole 5-bolt disc brake setup that's on this car is the like poor man's version. So SN95 GT rear, and then the front is just like Lincoln or Ranger, whatever. Front rotors, and then the stock spindles, stock calipers. So all of this has been begging to be properly upgraded at some point in time. Not that it needs to be upgraded, but I've always kind of dreamt of going to the bigger brakes, especially with a big 18-inch wheel, both front and back. And so here we are. Found a guy on Facebook Marketplace, real nice fella out on the coast, and picked up these Cobra front calipers, pads. I got the bigger plates for the back so I can run the Cobra rear rotor. And I still have some parts to order, but anyway, in the very near future here, we're going to be doing a little bit of a brake upgrade on the old Fox as well. So that should be fun. Anyway, if you guys are interested in seeing that, I mean, thousands of people have done it, but I'm going to be doing it on this green car before it, well, goes to be tuned and everything. This will be coming in the very short future here. So anyway, I think that's about it. Oh, I did kind of bait you guys on these ramps that I built for my trailer. This is to try to take away some of the transition that I got between the ramp, like as the car comes up to the ramp and everything. So ramp door will rest here and kind of lengthen me out. So that's good. That's all in anticipation of this thing going in the trailer to head over to Matthew Puzzi to be tuned. All right, folks, I got the #1 Castle Customs Terrorist here with me today, Sadie Bug.
Yep.
You've only said hi 2 times to the folks now, but
That's true.
now we got to wrap it up and say goodbye. But you watch enough YouTube that you should know how to do this. Do you want to wrap this video up for us?
How? When you're done talking.
I'm done. I think everybody's heard me drone on enough about silly tire stuff.
So I just say bye.
Well, whatever you want to say. What do all the kids you watch on YouTube say?
Normally subscribe.
Yeah. What else? Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Comment down below about the wheels, whatever.
Tires.
Yeah.
How about like?
And like.
And what else?
What's it called? Wait.
Thank you very much for watching.
Yes.
We really appreciate each and every one of you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Take care.
Take care.
See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Maybe
Subscribe.
maybe we should have practiced this before, hey?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.